Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to another episode of Chiefs Chat with the Guy. It's me, I'm Wild Bill, with my buddy Chad, the defender on the split screen. What is happening, my man?
Well, it's right in the middle of free agency here,
Yeah.
and there's some moves that we made with our own people, and we got a couple people added, um, and the team is looking already better.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this next season. I know we're still looking at what's going to happen with Snead and a few others. Um, I mean, I know they're not done. They're definitely not done with the moving and shaking. So I'm
Right?
ready to see what's going to happen here.
Yeah. I speaking of Sneed, Legarius Sneed,
Yeah,
all kinds of rumors to the Colts, to Titans. To this morning, I read up where going to the Titans are talking to the Chiefs. I don't know if that's true.
yeah.
There hasn't been no like confidential. Bill, what do you think? The only thing good about it is if he is traded, it's more cap space to get other people. But wouldn't you
Yeah.
just rather keep Snead?
I mean, I'd like to keep Snead if we can, but I mean, we still need to free up that cap space. Jack, knock it off, crazy
Yeah,
dog.
I mean, because we still have the draft, and there's some holes in the Chiefs, like the left tackle. They didn't
Yeah,
re-sign Donovan Smith yet or anybody.
yeah,
Um, that's a hole. You don't have there's some free agents like CEH. Will they get another running back? Will they take the ones out the practice squad? Will they draft one? There's answers like that. So Snead, as far as Snead goes, will will they trade him or will they keep him? Like you said though, it makes more sense to trade him
yeah,
to free up a lot of space.
yeah. It does. I hate to see him go, but it does make sense. So
Yeah. But the big sign for our own is Chris Jones, the quarterback of the defense, the captain of the defense. He made so many plays in all three of these Super Bowl wins, like blocking passes, knocking down passes, putting on a pass rush. Gotta love those dogs, man. They always make noise.
no,
That's awesome, man. You got two bloodhounds outside and a bird just like you, and they make noise. But Chris Jones, he's a difference maker. He's a wrecker in the backfield.
oh yeah, absolutely. I'm glad we kept Chris Jones. I mean, I know I gave him a lot of crap. I gave him a lot of grief while he was, doing his whole uh, not playing and trying to restructure his contract. I gave him a lot of grief, but I'm glad he proved me wrong. You know, I
Well,
just wasn't seeing how he was going to be worth the money. And once
yeah,
he finally did come back to play, he did earn his money. He really did.
yeah.
But I still have an issue with how he did it. He should have played in good faith while they were doing it. How
I
much
agree.
better how much better would our season would have been if he would have been playing the whole time? That was
Probably
my
would have won that game. Probably would have won that first game, definitely.
we would have won a couple games, I think.
Well, he's out one game, but I think he'd have been in better shape, probably, and, more focused. But I blame the Mafia brothers, whatever their name, the Katz brothers or what, his
Yeah.
agents. I don't like them. Uh,
Oh yeah. That was a mess.
let's just sit up here and be a distraction and, you know, um, but I think he knew that was not cool because he wanted to be out on the field playing. I know he did because that's
Yeah.
Chris Jones. That's what he's all about. But maybe that's either here and there. Like you said, he came back and he earned it. Um, and I think he wants to be a Chiefs for the rest of his career. Evidently, he signed a 5-year contract. I don't know
Yeah.
if he'll play all 5 of those years, but we'll see.
Yeah. I
So
mean, multiple guys on the team that say if they're not with the Chiefs, they don't want to play at all.
right.
So, I mean, I don't doubt it. I mean, the Chiefs organization is completely different than a lot of these other ones. I mean, when you're a Chiefs player and you fit in and you're part of that team 100%, you're more family than a team player. You know, your your teammates are your family. They become an extended family. And you see that some in some of the other teams, but not as much as it is with the Chiefs. And
Well,
I'm not a football player. I'm not part of the Chiefs, so I don't know what the difference is between the Chiefs and some of these other groups. But I mean, they've got to have that magic formula because you hear all the time about how you know I'm a Chiefs player and I don't want to ever leave. So they got to be doing something right.
well, that's true. I think you know, the goal was to win Super Bowls,
Yeah,
and when you do that and you perform under like that under the bright lights, each and every one of the Super Bowls, you just got to weather the storm of the other team of emotions because they were behind and they're just like, oh, we've been here before. We got to wait till 10 points and then we'll get back in it or whatever.
yeah.
So their confidence, they were talking about three-peat. Now, I'm not going to get far, ahead of ourselves here. That's going to be a hard task. But
It's
I would love to see it done.
Oh, I would too. I mean, the way that it's going so far with the moves that they're making. Oh, we got a low flying jet. I love being out here by Forbes Field because you get all the military planes flying over. We're not too far away, so I mean they're real low.
Vibrate the house there.
Oh yeah, you gotta love it when the F-16s and every so often you see a Warthog go flying by, and they got the stealth bombers and all that. It's really cool watching them. But yeah, I got distracted there a little. But I mean, yeah, the way that everybody plays together is just absolutely awesome, and the moves that they're making right now, I really think they're going to be so difficult to beat this year if they keep going. And you know, uh, Coach just said here the other day, we're not done with our moves. We still got other stuff we're going to be doing. He said there's a lot going on, and
Behind the scenes there.
he said there's a lot going on. Um, there's just it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. I'm ready. I can't wait. I mean, that anticipation. It's it's great.
Yeah. So some other moves that we did was we got back Willie. Willie left, but Tranco's back. Um, Linebacker. He's real good. They signed him a 3-year contract. Um, and then we got some of our defensive linemen back, like Nadia, uh, Wharton. Got safety Dion Bush back. Um, Panel, he's a real good run stopper in the middle. And then, but they released some people like our punter. He's
Yeah,
gone because they got that. Um, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Where is it at here? Um, Riza or something like that. But supposedly he can punt the ball 60, 70 yards.
yeah,
So the guy's got a leg on him.
yeah.
Um, Here's the latest rumor. I don't know what you think about this, Bill, or if you heard anything about this. Is OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., say they're in talks with him about a team-friendly deal. Um, if he can stay healthy, I think he's cancer. He could be a cancer, but he's got good hands. I don't know. Like mixed emotions about that one.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that one. I'd have to check it out. I don't know enough about it yet.
Um,
I don't know.
if that happens, he can stay healthy. That offense will look really explosive. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping that may be a possibility. Um, so and so those are some of the moves. It's not all of them. And I know, like you said, they're going to make more moves.
Oh yeah.
But up on April 25th is the draft, and start. Well, they always start on a Thursday, and it was in Kansas City last year.
Yeah.
And I'll be watching it or listen, paying attention to it. I always do. And I would there's if I say top 5 positions in need, what would you say they are? That's a hard one, but
Well, I mean, you've got to make sure you got a solid defensive line. You got to have your wide receivers. Those are key. I mean, that was something we were really hurting on this last year.
it's true.
I mean, special teams is huge. You got to have the guys that make the plays there. So I mean, I don't really know at this point what we really need with everything going on, all the moves they're making. I'm not 100% sure on what we still need at this point.
Well, my opinion is this: need some offensive line help.
Yeah.
Whether it's a backup or not, because some of these guys are going to be next year need to build for the future. Need a left tackle really bad. So
Okay.
whether they get one there, always get a receiver, even though we just got Hollywood Brown, or build for the future. Because he may be not come back next year. You don't know.
Yeah.
And a defensive tackle and an edge rusher. So I mean, those are some of the things right there. Um, and maybe a good tight end. Now we got a tight end too who signed in free agency. He played with the Bengals. He's got real good hands. They love to use the 3 tight end set sometimes.
What's the name of the player that we had, and he went to a different team, and then we just re-signed him? Who was that? That I just saw it the other day, and I wrote it down. And I can't find it.
Just this year or last year?
But they just re-signed him here this last week or so. So he's coming back to the Chiefs. I was trying to find it again before we started recording, and I couldn't find it online.
Coming back to the Chiefs. Well,
I'll find it. We'll have it in our next video.
I think I heard something that, but I can't come up with the name.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you have to write that stuff down because you get to talking about all this stuff and it becomes blank. But
yeah.
Anyway, before you say for the third time, Irv Smith is the tight end there. So like I said, these guys are trying to get guys with hands because they looked silly last year.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
So instead of winning by 3, should win by 10 or 15 with these hands, right? Should dominate. So that's what it is in a nutshell. Is all these? What will the structure of it look? We'll do free agency, draft, and then they'll come back to free agency again. Because who's going to be their backup running back? Will they bring CH back or McKinney back? I don't know. McKinnon.
Yeah.
They may not because those guys are older, but what's your feeling on the draft or free agency? You have anything else that you feel about it?
Not really at the moment. I mean, I'm just kind of waiting to see how everything plays out. with everything, and they're talking about making some moves in the draft. So I haven't really heard anything definite either way on a lot of stuff. So I mean, there's so much rumor and conjecture. I mean, I really hate to add to it because we don't know what they're going to do yet. So
Yeah. Well, I like to see them draft a really playmaker receiver, and then a playmaker need an edge rusher really bad.
yeah,
See what happens with that. And then, you know, maybe you see, you got another thing too. It's a backup quarterback. That I don't know who. That's a mystery. Who they're going to have there?
yeah.
So
Well, hopefully it's somebody that's at least decent enough to
come
make.
in if they had to.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, with Mahomes and that ankle, who knows? I mean, once you get injured like that, it's very easy to be re-injured. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. He
Get that.
stayed pretty healthy this
Yeah.
past year, thank goodness. And
Well, he also didn't get people rolling up on his ankles and all that too much either.
Yeah. He really didn't start using his legs until the playoffs. And that's what he usually does because he knows he's got a long year. I heard that they're thinking about adding a game. I'm like, I hope they don't. That's
Yeah.
that's a lot of beating up on your players. You don't need to add an extra game.
Well,
You know?
they've been talking for a while about adding a couple games.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're trying to extend the season. They For a while they were talking about that with baseball, and they're like, no, we got enough games. We don't need any more because they keep trying to extend the season out, and they're wanting
Right.
football season longer. Also, I don't know. I mean, for me, it's kind of a catch-22 because if you add more games, you're going to have to add more players. You're going to have to bump up the cap. You're going to have extra players to cover injuries and this guy is being tired and wore out. I mean, that's just the way it's going to have to be.
Yeah. That's why Andy Reid has done this a while. He's smart. That's why he only does certain plays and they play a certain way throughout the year. And then all of a sudden they become more dynamic as the season goes along. He doesn't want to, one, waste his players hurt or waste their energy, or two, show everybody everything. I think that's um, he's kind of vanilla sometimes. Like, why ain't he doing this? Because he doesn't want to do certain things right away.
Yeah.
So, um, one of the things I'm concerned about, I don't know if you've heard it up there in the area, the Kansas. I don't know if you consider Topeka the Kansas City area, but it's close. I mean, it's what 45 minutes from Kansas City.
Yeah,
But
it's not Kansas City area, but I mean, we're still definitely Chiefs fans out here.
right. But they're talking about the tax in Jackson County there in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah.
Talking about, well, if the president Donovan, I think his name is, of the Chiefs, was saying if they don't pass that, it could be possible that the Chiefs move to a different area. I don't think he meant. I think he meant it could be the Kansas side, still within the Kansas City area, but it's like sounds like he can make a lot of people mad that it could move to Kansas City or Bonner Springs, where the Legends is and all that. They could move out there. They can move into Overland Park area. Who knows?
Well, there's nowhere for them to go out there by Legends area, really. I mean, most of that land they'd have to buy out a huge section of land and clear out the houses, clear out. I mean, it just the land out there is not flat enough. I mean, because there was a piece of land I was looking out there to build on, and it's all hills. I mean, it was
So,
132 acres of slopes and valleys and everything. It wasn't going to work.
well, I haven't been in Kansas City for 12 years. So let's just say They just said, "Hey, we're going to stay in the Kansas City area. Where else could they build?"
Probably outskirts of Olathe, Shawnee area. I don't know. I mean, there are areas to do it. It just doesn't make sense to do it there.
I think he's just trying to get people motivated. I don't think
Well, that's the
they'll
way
actually.
they always say that. Well, if we don't get this, 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 and this, we're going to move. I mean, you hear it all the time from these teams.
Right.
I mean, they're making billions of dollars. The NFL is making billions of dollars a year. You know, they're tax exempt, which I don't agree with. You know, they get all these tax breaks from the cities that they're in.
Right.
You know, you hear about how you hear the politicians talk about how the rich need to pay their fair share. Well, I definitely think that the NFL needs to pay their fair share. So, I mean, I don't agree with the NFL being tax exempt, and I think they're being absolutely greedy with making the fans and the cities that they're in pay for the new stadiums. I don't agree with that. That's ridiculous. I mean, if
Right.
you're making billions of dollars a year, you can afford to build your own dang stadium.
Sure.
Common
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. I mean, your team, especially the Chiefs right now. I don't know
Yeah.
about the Royals so much, but the Chiefs, with these new fans and going to 6 straight AFC championship games and winning 3 Super Bowls, their merchandise is selling. Um,
Great. Yes.
the TV revenue that they play their games on prime time, a lot of their games. Um, Patrick Mahomes, the endorsements that he gets brings in interest from that to the team.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much they would tax him anyway, but it's just a point of them threatening.
Yeah.
Um, and again, I'm all about the Chiefs staying in Kansas City, the history, all right.
Okay.
Um, the fan base that they have there, they don't want to run that.
Chiefs Kingdom won't be Chiefs Kingdom anywhere else. I mean, that's
Right.
about the Chiefs
Yeah.
could move to another state. They're just not going to be. They won't be the same team. They won't be the Chiefs that we know right now. I think they'll. I think if the Chiefs move, they're going to destroy their own team.
Yeah. This is the way I look at it. If they were to move out of town somewhere like Oklahoma or somewhere like that, I'd be a fan until Patrick Mahomes left, and then I would probably be done.
If
Be
they,
honest with you.
yeah, I'd be done with them. That's
Yeah.
the only reason why I was a fan to begin with is because they were Kansas City. It was our local football team. And
Right.
so if they're not here, why be a fan?
Yeah. Like I said, I think the chances of that happening are very slim. I mean, it could,
I don't
but
think
if
they
you want to be a dumpster fire like the Raiders, move about 3 or 4 times and see what happens.
exactly.
So I'm sorry, Raiders fans. I mean, I'm glad you're still loyal to your team, but
Yeah.
you should have stayed in Oakland. I think that's the history of your team there. And Vegas could have got an expansion team or something. But I always remember the Oakland Raiders, man. That's the team I remember. That's why I can't see Kansas City having another city linked to them. The
Yeah.
Rams did it. They went, L.A. to St. Louis to L.A. Um, you know, the Chiefs were the Texans in the early days, but there were 2 teams there in Dallas, so they had to leave Dallas. So they started a new team, a new name. But
Yeah.
they've been here ever since then.
Oh yeah.
So um, here's another one in Baltimore, or the Browns moved to Baltimore and became the Ravens, and
Yeah.
that pissed a lot of people off. And they were the Colts before that too. So those 3 cities are mad at each other, and they got their teams back. But it's the point of it really messes up the league, man.
Yeah.
If you want an expansion team, get an expansion team. So But anyway, I don't think the chances are that high. It's still kind of alarming that they're even thinking about that, or things are said, but people make a bigger deal about it than what it really is sometimes, and
Yeah.
hopefully that's what it is. Do you
Oh,
have
yeah.
any? Do you have any final thoughts? I knew this was going to be a shorter video because it's kind of slow, um, and we'll have more content. I will.
Yeah.
So if you have any final thoughts,
No, I mean, I'm just ready to see, the rest of what they're planning, what they're doing for the team with, the rest of the moves they're going to be making and the draft. It's just going to be exciting to see what kind of a team we're going to have this next year because the way it's looking right now, I think she's going to be like this last season. We're going to be very difficult to stop. I mean,
yeah,
this isn't on the Chiefs to three-peat, really. It's more on the other teams to keep us from three-peating. And the way it's looking, I don't think they got a chance. I mean, a few teams are going to step up and they're going to make it difficult, but I don't think they're going to be putting up enough of a fight to keep us from doing it a third time in a row.
well, the only Chiefs or the only team that can beat the Chiefs is the Chiefs, and what I mean by that is if the Chiefs, it's a long season. They've been in the playoffs and extended their time playing games, can they hold their focus? Can they be focused and determined? And after the Super Bowl, you can hear Mahomes talking to people saying, "I want a three-peat. I want a three-peat. It's never been done before."
Yeah,
And Kelsey the same way. So this team and Chris Jones is the same way.
yeah,
So these guys are looking to do something that has never been done.
absolutely.
They would suck if they don't do it, but man, would it be sweet?
Oh yeah. I mean, this last season would have been so much better if our wide receivers would have been receiving. That they would have been making the catches. It would have been a completely different season.
Right.
So I think we're gonna have that pretty well figured out by the start of the season.
Yeah.
Uh, I think we're gonna have a lot of things figured out better this year than last year because I think there were too many issues last season and they were trying to concentrate on what needed to be fixed first. And I don't really know what happened to have the wide receivers so messed up. I don't know what was going on there. Really don't. But it's too little, too late when you finally start getting your act together in the postseason, in the playoffs, and everything. That's just too
Yeah.
little. So, I hope we got enough. Hope we got some new blood that's really come in and make the moves and make the plays.
Well, speaking of receivers, Holiday Brown,
Yeah.
that's his nickname, Holiday,
Yep.
is already working out with Patrick Mahomes and his trainer in the gym.
Yeah.
And that guy says, I could have taken basically more pay somewhere else. He goes,
Yeah.
I'm getting decent pay, but I
I,
want to win. I want to win. So that's
yeah.
the
And
new
he
blood
said
you're
he
talking
could make
about.
a lot more at another team, but he wanted to come to the Chiefs. He wanted to be with a winning team, and he wanted that. He wanted that Super Bowl ring, and he knows that his best chance is to come to the Chiefs for this season, upcoming season.
Yeah,
That
you're
was his
right.
shot, and that's the way that. And a lot of these players know if they go to the Chiefs, they've got a much better chance of getting that Super Bowl ring than any other team out there right
And like I said, OBJ, which I think,
Yeah.
if you take the drama out, take the injuries out, he's a B plus A minus receiver. Said he wanted to play with Travis Kelsey. Let's see if that happens.
now.
You
Yeah.
know, um, what
Well,
receivers will they get rid of?
the ones that can't catch the ball.
That's a good answer.
I
The
mean,
ones that don't catch the ball.
that's the bottom line.
MVS gone.
Yeah, I mean
you can't just do it in the playoffs.
It's horrible. I mean, when you when you're paid to catch the ball and you can't do it, you got to go.
Get out of here. Stone hands, butterfingers, brick hands, all kinds of hands, but no hands, right?
Yeah.
So do it. Catch the ball. Do it.
Yeah. But I really think if we got the guys catching the ball and we got enough people downfield, they're not going to be able to double and triple team Kelce like they did this whole entire last season. His numbers were down because they knew they could ignore the other guys because they weren't catching the ball.
Exactly.
They were triple teaming Kelce all season, so it was almost impossible for him to get to break out from them and to get to where he could get the ball. So yeah, he had a lower number season this year. It's fine.
Yeah. I think and Rice is going to have a bigger year this year. All three of those guys together, and if you add another one, which I think they will, either in the draft, because they say this draft is a lot of good receivers.
Yeah.
So
well, I would like to see somebody. I would like to see him get somebody that could be a receiver, somebody that can run the ball from the line. I mean, just an all around, multiple position player. That'd be great if we could get somebody that could do a little bit more than just catch the ball. But I don't know what else we need. But I mean, even if you just get somebody that can just run that ball and to catch that ball and run afterwards and get that yardage, that'd be definitely better than what we had this last year. So
yeah, I'd like to get another great running back, a 1-2 punch with Pacheco, and some guy that can get some yardage, even make people break tackles, and because the physicality of that will open up that offense even more. So this year people were, the Raiders fans are talking about how good they're going to be, but hey, usually after you beat us, after you played us 10 times, you beat us once and you talk crap. We pretty much remember that. Well, anyways, it'll be interesting. This next week, we're going to do a video next week.
Yep.
Let's see what other moves they make. See what happens with Snead.
Yep.
See if we get another receiver. Because they have a plan there. They haven't told you what it is, but it'll start to make sense here in the next 2 or 3 days, I think.
Oh yeah, they don't want to let anybody know what the plan is, so that way nobody can mess it up for them.
Yeah,
so, I get it.
Well, subscribe, like, look us up, Google us. On YouTube, I did a TikTok. See if the people get to notice us and push us out there a little bit.
Yep. And for all of you out there that are watching our videos and you want a good movie to watch for get ready to watch a draft, go check out that Kevin Costner movie. What is that, Draft Day? Man, I absolutely love that movie. It's so good.
That sounds good.
That's great.
I watched the quarterback on Netflix after the Super Bowl last year with Patrick Mahomes.
I still haven't checked that out. I still need to watch that.
Oh, you'll love it. It's good. It has 3 different quarterbacks on there and takes it all the way from training all the way to the Super Bowl. So you have to watch it. And now they have a new one coming out later this year called Receiver. Nobody on our team, but I'll still watch it because I like the NFL. Should be good. Well, Bill,
we didn't really have much for receivers this last year, so I don't expect them to be on our team.
Yeah, they could have had. Luckily, they didn't because they'd have been showing them dropping the ball.
Yeah, it'd have been rough.
I think Rice or Kelsey would have been good on there, but that'd have been it all
Oh,
year.
to see Kelsey.
Yeah, because they had George Kittle on there, supposedly, the tight end for the 49ers, and he's good, but he doesn't catch the ball as much as Kelsey does.
Yep.
But he's good. Anyway, that's all I can think of for today. And we'll have more on the next video.
Sure will.
So it's a wrap for me, Bill.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out and joining us. And, stay tuned. We'll be putting out more videos and giveaways. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments what you think the Chiefs are going to do this year. Do you think the Chiefs have a real chance of being a three-peat? I think they do. I'm
absolutely.
They got it. So I'm calling it now before preseason, before everything. I think the Chiefs are going to three-peat this year.
I'm right up there.
Just like last year, about this time, I said the Chiefs are going to win. They're going to go all the way. They're going to win. They did it. So I think they're going to do it again. I have the faith.
Have the faith.
I have the faith.
Keep the faith, Chiefs Kingdom.
Day number one. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Please subscribe, like, and share. Help us get them numbers up so we can get out there more. And we'll be trying to do some giveaways. We got some Chiefs flags. We got Royals hats. And we'll see what we can do about getting some swag out there for everybody. And we'll go from there. So thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us here. And the dog knocked the box. So we'll see y'all next time, everybody.
Adios.
Best music ever. See, even Jax agrees.
Jax. Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs. This is a noisy one.
Gotta love him. Gotta love that boost.